What's up, dudes? Welcome back. Really, today is kind of the first day I'm getting back into the flow of things. Picked up a brand new welding helmet. Good to go. We got some work to do on the El Camino. So a couple of revisions since the last time. We'll go through it real quick. I still have to clean out the truck a bit, or the cab, or the car, whatever you want to call it. Get the seats out and all the stuff that I'm not going to be working with right now, just to have it out of the way so I can have all kinds of room. So I made myself this nice big to-do list. It's pretty long. 3 parts to it. And that's what we're going to attack. As for the revisions, the rear mount radiator, not too sure about it anymore. Fuel cell is obviously going to stay in the back. The battery, I'm contemplating on maybe making a mount, put it way back here, make some sort of bash bar in the back, get more weight to the back end, I guess, since the rad will be up front. There's the battery box down there. We're going to have to relocate it, make a mount, make it all good, nice and cool. And on the front, these mounts, you're going to have to figure out something with those. Figure out a way to get the whole front end on this car. As you can see, I've already brought it out. It's sitting right here. Got the hood, the stock rad support, and the fenders. If you're wondering what that weird sound is in the background, it's like... All right, so I just moved the truck around, or car, whatever you want to call it, real quick, because I'm going to be working on the front mostly. So here's the front. Now I gotta get in here and figure out some sort of mounting for the front end. Like I said, we've got all these pieces. We're gonna try to test fit them and stuff. So I'm gonna mess around a little bit. I'm gonna bolt in the bracket that I've already made for the front. That was in a previous video. And then I'm gonna try to see like how far apart the fenders need to be from each other. Try to figure out something maybe for the hood too. I'm gonna have to find a way to mount that. For now, it might just sit up there, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Fender's kind of on, sort of sitting there, but I really feel like I'm gonna have to put that door in there. Let's take a little bit of a look at it. It's hard to check because it's lifted in the front right now. It's up on jack stands, but I might put the rear to make it level kind of thing. I'm standing here in the corner of the shop. I think the front might be a little too high. Real quick, I put some panels on it, I put the hood on it. You guys saw me weld the piece onto the front, sort of rad support kind of deal. But I'm overlooking things and it's not looking so good because I did obviously some different calculations, and that rad support deal that I just put on the front is supposed to be temporary. I think that was the plan anyway. It looks kind of cool, it looks good, and material's expensive now. But I'm gonna probably chop it up and reuse it because it doesn't fit right. So looking under here, I had to bend this bar to make it sit level on the hood proper way. And then they're actually not in line either. This one's too far over this way compared to this one. And so it's not straight on like this axis, and it's not straight like this way either. So I'm gonna have to reconfigure that. And also I've been thinking a lot about different ideas, rad support, yada yada, some other stuff. Got both sides of the fenders lined up and everything else. Put the hood on it before, tested it. Basically, I have an idea where I'm gonna go, but now I'm just gonna go ahead, dig in, take all those panels off, and start making all the proper brackets that I figure I'm gonna need, and then we'll see how it fits from there on. I'm gonna also fit the engine and the rad support, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go for it for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you guys with an update when I'm done. So I've been at it for a little while, trying to figure stuff out, trying to plan things out. This is kind of what we're looking at. I'm trying to make the rad support so I can work on the front, and I'm gonna work my way back, do all the important stuff. So I mocked up this little carrier to hold the rad down. It's gotta be dropped down low because I have to clear the water spouts. Now this bar, I'm thinking about adding in the front here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with that, try to get a good angle, flip it up a bit, make it serve purpose, like sort of like a bumper. Might help out the overall, the whole deal. So I'll see what I can do here. So here's what we're looking at right now. Real quick, I'm putting in that bar at the bottom. It's gonna hold the rad bit tighter, a bit more stiff, and it's gonna act as a bumper if I ever should need that. And at the same time, that angle iron right there, that's gonna still be able to hold oil coolers and stuff if I need to put it on, decide to put it on. And unfortunately, I just ran out of gas in the welder and wire. I actually ran out of wire first, and the gas is it's gonna go in the next 5 minutes. So when I'm filming this, today is Sunday, I'm kinda out of luck. I'll get back to it as soon as I can. All right, guys, I've been at it. I got up this morning and I went kind of like make bracket crazy. So let's check it out, show you guys what I've done so far. All right, so I still got to weld them up tighter and finish the welds. I'm just tacked them all in to make sure they're gonna work. But this is gonna be for the fender. This is gonna be for an inner fender idea I have that I haven't really planned out what that's for, but it's definitely gonna come in handy. These pieces here, they're on kind of a cool angle. Got some on both sides. I'm probably gonna put a brace underneath here, just make it look a bit tougher. But that's gonna essentially be for fenders. This is gonna be some sort of hood mount deal. That was a big chunk I cut out, came in handy. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put a hood pin there or maybe some sort of hinge system. That'll help me figure out the hood. These brackets down here, potentially later, is gonna be for some sort of exhaust side pipe system going on. Let's go to the front here. I guess I talked about it a bit before, but I made a whole new rad support in the front. So I decided to go front mount radiator. I figure it's gonna be more simple, easier to figure the truck out, dial it in, get it running good. And then later on, like when I start getting bored with how it runs and want to modify it more, then maybe we'll go later on and do the rear mount radiator. And also I'm going to start running this on the track before I actually go drifting with it. So I think the front mount rad is probably a good solution. Moving on. Now up here in the front, these are ugly, but it's like an angle iron with bolts on this side and that side, V-shape for extra strength. I'm going to run some sort of hood mounting bracket up there, hood, fenders, what have you. Also going to use these to make some sort of top rad support. Not really sure yet. All this stuff was done on the other side, same thing. So I got some pieces here for upper and lower fenders. This is again for the hood and stuff. And this little bracket down here that I got to finish welding up is for potential exhaust side pipe. Like I said, again, that's the other fender. So I'm just gonna keep on moving on, keep on trucking. I've already had to go to the store once, so I want to avoid like slowing down and stopping. So next up, I'm gonna figure out how to start mounting fenders and stuff like that. I might put the old mount on the front once again, just to get like size it up. Then I can start building off of that. I'm gonna have to get rid of that, and I'd like to cut off the front of the frame completely, kind of make maybe a bash bar or something, but we'll get into that later. I gotta make sure I can get the fenders on at the proper height and make sure they're wide enough apart for the grill and everything to fit. That's gonna be a whole new thing. So I'm just gonna get into it and we'll see what happens.